boys and girls, please note that this video is only for Wednesday. It was too long, so I'll put a new one Thursday morning. Bye. For those of you who do not have your Think a Book with you, don't worry. I'm going to put your homework assignment in Google Classroom. It will be in English and Spanish. And don't forget to complete the quizzes. Bye. ¿Sabían que esta banda que toca esta canción es de Honduras, que es de donde yo vengo? Entonces, bueno, un pedacito de sopa de caracol. Espero que hayan tenido un buen día, martes y lunes, que todo les haya ido bien. Miro que varios de ustedes ya tomaron la prueba de en vocabulary. Lo que noté es que los niños que se tomaron su tiempo de ver el video y de hacer el juego del vocabulario sacaron 90s y 100s. Los niños que se fueron directo a tomar el examen o solo viendo el video y no repasando el vocabulario, no les fue muy bien. Obviamente es mejor que ustedes hagan el juego del vocabulario para practicar el vocabulario y las diferentes clases de estructuras del texto informativo y después tomar la prueba para que les vaya mejor. ¿Entendido? El día de hoy lo que voy a hacer es que les voy a modelar cómo analizar un texto informativo para poder encontrar la idea clave o la idea principal o la idea central. Acuérdense que todos esos son sinónimos que significan la misma cosa, solo es diferentes maneras de decirlo. También les voy a dar el trabajo que les va a tocar hacer ustedes el día de hoy. Les pido por favor que traten de hacer el trabajo el día que se los doy. Lo que está pasando, lo que noto es que si no hacen el trabajo el día que les toca, se les va acumulando y terminan haciendo nada, que obviamente no les ayuda a ustedes en lo mínimo. Estoy muy orgullosa de mis niños que son consistentes entregando su trabajo a diario. Ustedes saben quiénes son ustedes. Pueda que al final de año estos niños que han sido consistentes conmigo, no voy a dar nombres porque ustedes saben, si están entregando su trabajo a diario, ustedes saben quién son. Les voy a mandar un premio especial a ustedes al final de año. No les voy a decir cuándo. Cuando les caiga en el correo es cuando van a saber que es su recompensa por tener una ética de trabajo muy buena. ¿Entendido? Ok. Let me say all of that in English now for those of you who are doing your work every day. That's what I want you doing. Don't let too many days go by because if you let too many days go by, it's harder to catch up and you end up doing nothing, which doesn't help you get ready for 6th grade, right? Which is next year. I can't believe it that the year is almost over. So what I will be doing today is I'm going to be modeling for you how to look at a short informative text or informational text and find the central idea or key idea and also look at what the text structure of that text looks like. I'm going to be doing this story in English. Before I do the story, I want to review some great notes that you have in your Think Up book that you should be reading and you should be looking at before you even begin to answer the questions. Why, Miss Felson? Why do I need to do that? Because it is always good to refresh our minds as to what are we doing? Why are we doing this for? When we think of the central idea, we need to be thinking, okay, what is the topic? What are we talking about? Is it dogs? Is it dolphins, sharks, whatever it may be? And once you figure out what is the topic, then ask yourselves, what about that? What about sharks? What about puppies? What about Harriet Tubman? What about the volcano? Whatever it is that the topic you're reading about, ask yourself, what about it? Okay? And that's what we're going to do today. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to show you the notes first, okay? So let me enlarge this. Okay, these notes that I'm going to be showing you are in page number 330 of your Think Up book. So, Think Up book. If you have the book in Spanish, just follow along in Spanish. You know it's the same thing. So I'm going to read it. Here's what I want you to take away from this page, okay? So we talk about when an author creates or writes an informational text, there's a certain pattern that they use. And we had, sorry for giving you my back, but if you recall, we had our notes with the different graphic organizers that go along with the text structures, right? These are the 5 text structures that we focused on this year. And so when the author is writing an informational text, it is important for us to pay attention to the pattern or text structure that they use. So you may see organizational patterns is the same thing as the text structure, okay? So don't get confused with that. The central idea is the big idea the author wants you, the reader, to know about the topic, okay? And so think about the table. Remember when I gave you the example, that's the top of the table. And then the supporting details or the supporting evidence are the legs that help you prove what your main idea is. Now, the organizational pattern is the way that the author chooses to take that central idea and break it down for you to read it and understand it, okay? So one way, typically when you see central idea, we usually don't see this many supporting details. You may have 3 or 4 depending on how lengthy the text is, but normally you're going to see about 3. Just so the same way like when you were writing essays, when you write an essay, right? You write the central idea or your thesis statement, and then you write supporting details to go along with it. Same thing. Okay, when you're reading informational text, here's what you should be thinking about, okay? This is how you analyze what you're reading. You should be asking yourself, what is the topic of the text? In other words, what am I reading about? Is it sharks? If it is sharks, what about sharks? What are the important details in the text about that topic? Okay? What does the author want me to know? The next one is, what organizational pattern does the author use to write the text? And then how does the author organize the central idea and supporting details in the text? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to model for you how to do just that. I'm going to leave this here because this is going to be your homework. Okay, so let's put that to the side for a minute and let's go ahead and look at the lesson. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to model, and then you guys will go on and try out the same thing that I did, but you will do this on your own. Let me find my story, which is right here. The story that I'm going to model for you, sorry, my fan is somewhere hidden back here. The Good, the Bad, and the Bully. Okay, so you should automatically be thinking, okay, here's the title, The Good, the Bad, and the Bully. So could it be a story about 3 little boys? Well, it couldn't be a story because I'm reading informational text, right? So this will be more of facts that are going to be given to me. So remember, when you can figure out what genre of text you're reading, your brain kind of starts preparing itself, right? So I know that this passage is going to probably give me a lot of facts. Let's go ahead and begin reading. The first read should be just for us to enjoy it and to make sure we understand what we are reading. Okay, here we go. When modern people hear the word bully, they most likely picture someone who threatens someone smaller or weaker with unkind words or actions. No one today would want to be called a bully, that's for sure. However, this was not always the case. Although the exact origin of the word is uncertain, it likely comes from the Old Dutch word bully or the German word Bulle, which means brother or friend. So my brain is already thinking, okay, so when we usually think of the word bully, we think of it in a negative way, right? But back in the day, it used to mean something else, brother or friend. When you think of a brother, you don't think of somebody mean. Well, unless you have an annoying little brother or an annoying big brother, right, that picks on you, then you might feel differently. But certainly the word friend doesn't have a negative connotation with it. Early dictionaries from the 1600s define bully as a fine fellow or a good friend. Think about that. This is early 1600s, right? Theodore Roosevelt, who was America's president from 1901 to 1909, was known to shout bully when he was excited. He used the word as a synonym. Synonym means the same for wonderful or excellent. Totally different than the way we look at the word bully now, right? The more negative meaning of bully, the one that is commonly used today, goes back to the late 1700s. Bully was used to describe a person who tried to protect another, such as friend or relative. Often people were hired and paid to protect others. It is not difficult to imagine that these protectors may have begun to use cruel or threatening methods to protect their friends or family members. While the original meaning of bully referred to a person who demonstrated kindness, today's meaning of bully is anything but kind. So, what is my topic in this story? This story is about the word bully, right? What about the word bully? Well, the meaning of the word bully, from what I'm reading, has changed. It began to be a positive or good thing, and then as time went by, it turned to be a not such kind word, okay? Now, at first, my brain was thinking, okay, they're giving me dates, so this must be organized in chronological order, right? But I noticed that we go from the 1600s to 1901 to then 1700. So there's a different time frame that they're kind of jumping around. And remember that if we're talking chronological order, it needs to be in what order? So, but it's good to be thinking about, okay, what could possibly be the structure, or how did the author choose to organize, which pattern did the author use to organize the text? So let's go ahead and start with the questions now. The first question says, which statement best expresses the central idea of the text? So that's what they want me to focus on, the central idea of the text, right? So I'm looking, if you're thinking of the table, the top of the table, okay? A bully is someone who uses power to threaten or intimidate others. B, President Theodore Roosevelt played a role in introducing the word bully to Americans. C, the word bully has come to mean the opposite of what it once meant. D, historians do not agree on the origin of the word bully. So which statement out of all of those that I just read to you expresses the main idea? So let's think about which ones do not automatically sound kind of silly even when I'm reading them, okay? And let's go ahead and mark those up. Which two would you throw away? Pause the video and think about it for a second, okay? Okay, so the ones that I would get rid of right away because they don't make sense to support the main idea. What was the topic? The word bullying. What about the word bullying? It has changed over time from being a positive thing to a negative thing. So the two answer choices that I can throw away right away is that historians do not agree on the origin of the word bully, because that is not what the focus of this story was. A bully, I guess I should have started from a bully is someone who uses power to threaten or intimidate others. Even though I may agree with the fact that bully is someone who uses power to threaten other people, is that really what the central idea of the text is? No, it's not. I agree that a bully is someone who abuses their power, but that is not what the question is asking. This question is asking which one expresses the central idea of the text, the central idea. Sorry, I highlighted all of that by mistake. So it is not that, even though I agree with that statement letter A, that is not the central idea of the text. President Theodore Roosevelt played a role in introducing the word bully to Americans. Is that what they said? Not really. They said he used it, but that's not the central idea of the text. So the correct answer is C. Okay? You see what I did there? All right. Question number 2. The author organizes paragraph 2. So what they're asking me is specifically is for question paragraph number 2. Okay, so I'm going to go back to paragraph number 2 and see how the author organized it. Paragraph number 2. The more negative meaning of bully, the one that is commonly used today, goes back to the late 1700s. Bully was used to describe a person who tried to protect another, such as a friend or relative. Often, people were hired and paid to protect others. It is not difficult to imagine that these protectors may have begun to use cruel or threatening methods to protect their friends or family members. While the original meaning of bully referred to a person who demonstrated kindness, today's meaning of bully is anything but kind. So let me go ahead and look at my answer choices. Notice that I went back and I reread the paragraph without even looking at my answer choices because I don't want to go with already made up my mind. I want to read the text first before I make up my mind. So how was the text organized? Did it give me F, using cause and effect to explain how a word changed its meaning? G, using problem solution to explain how people protected themselves. Okay, your brain should already be going trash can, trash can. H, tracing the historic use of a popular word in chronological order. Oh, remember what I said. Did it really go in chronological order? It's a tricky one. J, describing the step that bullies usually follow to intimidate others. Boys and girls, as I read those answer choices, your brain should have been going, basura, basura, basura. Those two are trash. Which two are trash? I hope that you thought that tracing in chronological order was one. And then the other one, do they give me the steps? Did they say first, bullies do this, second, they do that? No, there were no steps involved. So I'm going to get rid of that other one also. And that leaves me with 2. One, which is the correct answer, and the other one that's meant to confuse me or distract me, right? So I want you to think about it on your own to see if you if you can figure out which one is the correct answer. Ready? Let's see if you were right. The 2 that are left, cause and effect to explain how a word changed its meaning, or problem solution. Now, boys and girls, you may be thinking, well, bullying is a problem, and you're absolutely correct. But we are talking specifically about paragraph number 2. And in paragraph number 2, what they tell me is that the word used to be for describing a person who protected someone else, but then what happened was that they began to kind of abuse their power, and they kind of started to go beyond just protecting people, but kind of becoming mean about it, right? So that to me is telling me that the cause was to protect people, and the effect that ended up happening, think of banana peel. I slip and I fall. Cause, banana peel. Effect, I fell down. So the cause was we wanted to protect people. What ended up happening, or the effect of that, was that people began to use or abuse the power and became a little bit more aggressive and mean, right? So the correct answer, I hope you chose, was F. And excuse my crooked lines, but it's hard to circle with a mouse. Okay, this is what I'm using as my pen, so that's why it's difficult. Great. I hope you had the correct answer, F. The last question is, the author includes the information about President Roosevelt. So remember, they told me that President Roosevelt used to use the word bully as a positive word, right? So they use that to support the idea. So that's a detail supporting the idea that A, he misunderstood the historical meaning of the word bully. B, he caused a shift in the way Americans use the word bully. C, the word bully originated a very long time ago. Or D, the word bully historically meant something positive. So why would they tell me that President Roosevelt used to use this word in a way to, in a positive or nice way? Okay, so which answer choices can I throw away right away? There's three that you should be going, nope, 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 right? This one is straight through. He misunderstood the historical meaning of the word bully. That is not the case. You may be tempted to use that one, but think about what is that idea supporting, okay? Here's support the idea is what should be your key words that should be jumping out. It is definitely not A. He caused a shift in the way the Americans, when he used that word, did it make Americans change their mind about the meaning of the word bullying? No, that occurred later on, right? The word bully originated a very long time ago, even though I agree with that, and we know that is the case, right? It originated a long time ago with the positive connotation or the positive meaning. Is that why they included the information about President Roosevelt? No, it is not. So the correct answer is D. Okay. And then the last question you would answer here, let me see if it lets me enter a text box here. Yeah. Why did the author, let me see if I can move it up. Why did the author most likely use a compare and contrast? So in the text, so look how over here, they're telling me remember paragraph 2, we used cause and effect, right? But in the entire text, he did that, what? Compare and contrast. He was comparing how the word used to be used and now how we use it currently. So compare and contrast. How are they the same? How are they different, right? When we're comparing. So please don't get confused. Authors can have more than one organizational or text structure in one text. We can see that. In paragraph 2, it was cause and effect, but the whole text is compare and contrast. And they give me the answer right here, right? They're saying, why did the author use compare and contrast pattern for the text? And what I can say is that the author, why did it disappear? The author used a compare and contrast pattern to emphasize the difference between the meaning of the word when it originated and our current meaning of the word. And I know that's not central. It's not center, but I can move it right here. Okay. So the reason why they use compare and contrast, they want us to they really want to point out how it used to be used before, what the meaning was before, and what it is now. Okay. They want to emphasize or put a focus on that. That is the lesson for today. For homework, let me show you what your homework is for today, and please get on it today. That way it doesn't accumulate for you. You're going to go to page number 331 of your Think Up book, and you're going to read the story, A Soldier's Diet. So just looking at the title, your brain should automatically be saying, okay, what is this going to be about? And then you're going to answer these 3 questions. Boys and girls, I want you to really pay attention to what I'm going to tell you right now. This is very important. Just a second. Okay, if you notice, I changed my screen because I want to tell you something. I want you to go ahead and answer your questions using your book. Go ahead and answer your questions here. But then I want you to come back to the video and in the comment section or in the description section. So a lot of you are saying, I can't find the quiz. I can't find the quiz, even though I'm saying it will be in the description section. So when you are watching this video, obviously this is from Monday's video, but when you're watching the video where the subscribe button is, underneath that, there are comments that I put in there for you. Sorry, my eye's itching. You can click here, show more, to see everything that I write down for you. Here is where I'm going to put the link for you to take the quiz in Quizizz. Why do I have to go to Quizizz, Miss Felson? Right, the paper's right here. You're making me do double the work. This is so annoying. Let me tell you why. Because in the text, you only have 3 questions, which means if you get one wrong, you're done. You're already failing, okay? I don't want to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write these 3 questions as your quiz, and then I'm going to add probably 3 or 4 more to give you a better chance to get a better grade. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And we've talked about this before in class. The less questions I give you, the easier it is for you to fail. So I want to give you enough questions for you to be successful. Okay? Please remember that if you get a lousy grade, you should take the test a second time, not right away. Go back and check your work. Where did I go wrong? Okay, make sure you study or review your text structures, because I'm going to give you little short passages and I'm going to ask you which text structure the author is using. I want your brain to start to recognize those text structures quickly. Okay, that is it for Wednesday. Homework for today, pages number 331. Read the story, find text evidence to support your answers for those 3 questions. Then go to Quizizz and answer the quiz online. Do not send me the pictures of this, okay? I love seeing that you're working, and that's great, but the way you're going to get your grade is by completing the quiz online. Okay, now go ahead and you can stop the video after this. You can go do your work, come back and get the link for the quizzes, and then we're going to start with Thursday instructions here. So for now, you're done for Wednesday. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I know the lesson was long, but I want you to watch me model for you how to do the lesson. A lot of you are, not a lot, some of you are asking me questions that I'm answering in the video. The reason why my videos are longer is because I'm trying to anticipate, or I'm trying to figure out what kind of questions you're going to have, and I'm trying to answer them for you. If I do a 5-minute video, I can do that, but then you're going to have 10,000 questions. So hyperbole, right? So I'd rather take my time and explain to you exactly what I need for you to do, so you can come back and answer your own questions. Okay, you have to be proactive and take charge of your own learning. All right, guys, I love you. I miss you more than you can imagine. And I look forward to seeing you. I haven't decided if I want to pass out your things on Thursday and Friday. I might text your parents and find out which day works best for them and go from there. All right, I can't wait to see you. Love you guys. Bye.